You guys seem to really enjoy the last installment of this series, and for that I'm really grateful and hyped. Plus, I was overwhelmed with how many great suggestions you all provided in the comments section. With that said, I combed through your comments to bring you 3 more awesome single-player shooters everyone should play. And with the holidays almost here, maybe if you have a loved one who's gift shopping for you, you may want to send them a time-coded link to this video with one of these games. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, let's go. One of the most overlooked games of the last few years, not only did Titanfall 2 deliver a ridiculously fun and replayable multiplayer, but it brought with it an ultra-polished campaign. This game's single player is infectiously fun. I played through it again on my stream just a few days ago, and I couldn't believe just how good this game continues to be. Each mission brings with it a new mechanic or twist that you have to master in order to progress. On top of all of this, it brilliantly uses the game's mobility system, which will have you wall running, slide hopping, double jumping, and Titan boosting all over the place. If nothing else, there is one mission in particular called Cause and Effect, which is one of the greatest FPS missions of all time, must play. The only downside of the campaign, honestly, is its short length. It's the type of game that I wish was double or even triple the playtime length because, the missions are fun, they're that good. Routinely, Titanfall 2 is on sale for very low prices, and there is no excuse to not have experienced this game yet. If you're curious what the multiplayer population is like, I did a deep dive video exploring that just a few months ago, and I'll link it in the description. The game runs smoothly on both Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and on the PC can be a real joy, with set pieces pretty gorgeous. I will say that the AI enemies are not a strong suit of this title, and as such, higher difficulties are really not that much fun. It's kind of annoying, honestly. They never seem to react in intelligent or tactical ways, and just cranking up the difficulty results in them being able to aimbot and kill you faster. Those complaints are easy to overlook though, as the game delivers on such a fun little complete experience. And honestly, start to finish, this thing is just a super good package. Don't miss out on Titanfall 2. A lot of you were mad at me for not putting Halo into the last video, and I get it. My channel started as a Halo channel, and I love this franchise. But it was so hard to pick just one Halo title. If you have a room full of people, you'll get different answers across the board as to what their favorite Halo is. Ultimately, I settled on Halo 3 for this particular list. Personally, I think Halo CE is my favorite, but something about Halo 3 is so impressive. The scale of the conflict, storytelling, level design, and sense of importance is just on point in Halo 3. Bungie managed to juggle multiple storylines in one, all while creating an even bigger sandbox with more vehicles, enemies, and exceptionally good controller FPS combat. Bungie has always had the secret sauce for making FPS feel great on the controller. There are definitely some levels and segments in Halo 3 that feel a bit like a chore to me now in 2018. And I wish the game would continue adding more mechanics as the campaign progresses. But that's also kind of what is so great about Halo 3. It's a giant sandbox shooter, and most of the sandbox is available to you throughout the entire game. Honestly, if you have some friends, co-oping through Halo 3 is a pure joy. Some games don't scale very well in co-op, but Legendary Halo 3 is still a lot of fun with friends. And that's actually the way I beat the game the first time on Legendary, was with my college roommate on a little 21-inch TV split screening. It was so bad, but it was so fun at the same time. On MCC, Halo 3 is downright gorgeous at times. The work that 343 have put into the lighting engine and even the enhancements for the Xbox One X, which I don't have, make this game look in some ways pretty modern. Someday I really want an Xbox One X just to see what this game looks like with those 4K enhancements. And right now, on Xbox Games Pass, MCC is there, and Xbox Games Pass is just $1 right now for your first month. If you need the easiest stocking stuffer ever for Christmas, then don't miss out here. Do yourself a favor, play through Halo 3, even if you've gone through it like half a dozen times. Going back and playing through it again revealed to me just what a great game it still is. I have had so many comments asking, what is this game? Every single time I use footage of Metro the last couple of months. I think a lot of people have never played or even seen this game before. And what's kind of funny is last night, does a lot of things I actually don't like in an FPS game. It takes away control in a lot of circumstances. The pacing is super bad for the first few hours, and yet it's very unique and has some great elements that help make up for those shortcomings. Ironically, this game is also on Xbox Games Pass. So this is a post-apocalyptic shooter that mixes atmospheric tension, stealth, and combat to create an extremely beautiful yet eerie game. So first of all, the studio that made it, Ukrainian developer 4A Games, had downright nightmarish development circumstances. The head of THQ said that the entire budget of Last Light was less than what some competitors spend on cutscenes alone. Dev kits and high-end PCs had to be smuggled into Ukrainian backpacks to avoid customs taking them. On top of this, there were frequent power outages, broken government-run heating systems that led to below freezing working conditions at times. Seriously, you have to look up some of the stories behind it. It's crazy. It's amazing that Last Light even exists. So the game has one of the most gorgeous lighting systems ever in an FPS and understands how to leverage that to its atmospheric benefit. The stealth sections require you to really survey your surroundings and make smart movement decisions. You're constantly resource starved, so every fight is a decision that can make or break you. My favorite moments are when you get to see the apocalyptic surface. Here, the radiation remains so high that you have to keep track of your gas mask filters and change them frequently to stay alive. Do note that the game in the initial few hours struggles from serious pacing issues. You have to be willing to go along for the ride in Last Light. It's a very linear shooter, and it has a lot of on-the-rails cutscene experiences that can make the flow feel disjointed. But once you actually settle into a rhythm a few hours into the campaign, it gets to be downright addictive. Turn the lights off for extra spookiness. Be aware, this is definitely a shooter themed for a more mature audience. It deals with socioeconomic philosophies as well as some downright depressing overtones, as you would expect after a nuclear crisis has torn apart the world. I can't wait for Exodus. This series is very different, but also very cool. So there we go, 3 more awesome single-player games you need to play. Thanks so much for the support on this series. I was so stoked when I saw how much you guys enjoyed the last one. All right, you know the drill. Which games should we cover next on this series? I specifically used your comments last time, and we'll do it moving forward as well. There are a ton of awesome single-player shooters we haven't covered yet. Portal, Fear, Crysis, New Vegas, and more. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little alarm bell. Sub boxes haven't been working very well. Follow me on Twitter. I love to talk with you guys there, at BBKDRAGOON. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk with you again very soon.